Welcome back, and you're still on to Spotlight with Mercy on Kaftan Television here in Abuja. And right now, I'm being joined by Barrister A.A. Magoro, who is a human rights activist and a political analyst. It's good to have you joining me this evening in the studio.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you. Well, viewers, a sincere apology. I know that was a bit long break, but we are trying to get some things fixed up. But now our phone lines are right open for you to call in to join the conversation. I want to begin with national security. We cannot talk about a healthy economy and a growing economy without adequate security. So I want you to tell me, what do you make out of the security situation in Nigeria now, especially under the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
There's no sector of this government that is that this government have achieved a lot like a security section. Because in security, it is obvious to everyone that the Mr. President has done a lot in the security, more especially the security sector, because it's obvious. And the security sector, you cannot, when you're talking about or speaking on security, you cannot shun away or close your eye with that talking about Nigerian military, because these are the apex security in this country, and they're the one that have done well that we see, and the other security sector too. For instance, now if you look at the achievement of Chief of Defense Staff or the Defense Headquarters generally, which they usually operate in intellectual dispositions of their own, operation, and also rely, on the law. You see these. You see most of the places that he opens, like Operation Fansan Dole, that is in Maiduguri. These are the places that is an achievement too. You see, the Chief of Defense Staff under the Chief of Defense Headquarters under the leadership of Chief General C.G. Musa. If you see his leadership style, he's a man who believes his operation intellectually. For instance, now you see the issue as regard to, like now, just of recent, they will soon start Africa Games. They invited over. Nigeria is going to host over 42 countries for Africa military games, and this is unity. That will bring peace and unity of this country. It's telling you that we are one and we shall assist one another. So it's a very big achievement for that game that it will start from on 18th to 30th of this month. So you can also see the Chief of Defense Intelligence that organized day before yesterday on the issue as regard to the role of technology, the role of the technological in strengthening regional and national security. So you can also see the issue of collaboration of the leadership under the leadership of General C.G. Musa with other security agencies like civil defense, that is under the leadership of Ahmed Abubakar Audi, who is the commander general of the civil defense. He's doing well because he's the one and tackling issue of bunkering as regard to the south and other places, and the issue of illegal mining. They are because they have collaborated. There's a huge big understanding and the collaboration between the civil defense and the defense headquarters. So you see the people that are surrounding the military, the leaders, the agencies that are surrounding, are the people that are operating based on what intellectual disposition. Let's speak the General C.G. Musa again. You see, he's a man that is honest, a man does not believe, that's not in love with the money, but in love with humanity and then justice. Why I say humanity? Because a man that has a vast knowledge of international humanitarian law that operate within, limit within the armed conflict, and then protect the civilians, that is the non-combatant, but attack the combatant. So you see his operation, the method of his operation is intellectually, and that is why he participates in multinational counter-terrorism initiatives, and also is a man who believes commend or believe in paramilitary, agencies, and then civilian security structure, because of what collaboration is always bringing people to come and participate that you cannot do alone. So the military people, they are the one that the sector is a sector that we have seen. We have seen a lot of their achievement in this country.
Okay.
So if a man that is too honest and a man who cannot do alone, calling everyone, even today, as I'm speaking today, he participates in a program organized by custom. So he's not only operating within the domain of military, but paramilitary. And that because all what he wants is to bring this country should be saved. And despite the mourn of their beloved one, the Chief of Army Staff, Labaja, but they still remain committed, to win war against terrorism. And that is why they engage themselves in different places to see how the country, to be saved. Okay. So yes.
But then let's dive a bit into the northeast. There is a group of terrorists known as Lukarawas, and this group have been operating for the past 6 years. It's something. It's quite unimaginable and almost unbelievable that this group have been in this part of the country for 6 years, and we're just getting to know about it. What did you make out of that?
Some people, there will be some group of terrorists will be operating silently, but when the method, the latest method or mechanism to fetch out all these terrorists has been settled, and then they're trying to wipe them out, and that is why they are coming in.
And it took the security agencies 6 years to discover.
Security is based on intellectual disposition. It's not something that you just, like I tell you, this particular administration, leadership of the General Sidi Musa, his leadership style is on intellectual disposition. He doesn't operate physically, he operates intellectually, because he doesn't want the civilian or innocent people to be killed, but terrorists alone should be killed. And that is why they are following them gradually to meet the group of any terrorists that are there. Let me tell you, if not because of the defense headquarters and the leader of the defense headquarters and the generally, they'll be able to set up a committee to monitor or to stare at, those groups that are raising now and that are bringing issue to cause a predicament to this country. They are the one that bring brought this. They make sure that they cannot be able to employ, because the terrorists are employing people. So when the security agency realize that these people are getting bigger, then they'll explore their methods to see how they'll tackle this. So that group is not a big thing to our Nigerian security. They will deal with them. It's nothing there. They know what they are doing. But not rushing.
But you're not rushing. But yeah, it's they said, how do they say, it's urgent situation calls for urgent action. But are you worried that this could be a phase of another Boko Haram? We knew how terrible it was during the time Nigeria faced Boko Haram terrorists. It wasn't funny. So are you worried? Because according to reports, as of last week, a lot of people were killed in that of Sokoto and the Kebbi state. So are you worried that this is beginning to look like another phase of Boko Haram?
No, I told you that we cannot rush now. The security agencies know what they are doing, like I told you. Okay,
what are they doing exactly? What are they doing?
You can't reveal your plan. When you want to fight terrorists, they don't reveal the plan. The only thing you will soon hear what the method or mechanism to be used in dealing with the terrorists. There's no way a security man, prior to the action, he begin to tell you his plan. Whatever they hear, this is what we are saying. What we are saying is that we trust and we believe with the leadership of the Nigerian army and military. We believe, we have confidence in them. Like I told you, we have confidence in them, and that is why we should not be rushing at them. But I am sure they will tackle the problem because of the plan they have and the love they have for this nation. So, like I told you, the chief of defense staff, because he's the only one we are talking about that is very, very serious about tackling this insecurity.
He's the only one that is serious. Others, you don't see others to
no, they are serious. Trying, but it's obvious because he's a man who does not operate within the domain of military. He goes outside the paramilitary, outside the military, facing the military, paramilitary and the civilian structure of security. He's a man who works with the local local people, that local, all this vigilante, you know, everyone to come and participate. Table his own idea to set to what to read out the insecurity predicament, and he welcomed everyone because he has the love of the country. While we are speaking about him, the security, other security agencies like police, civil defense, EFCs, and other people, they are trying. We are seeing, but what we are saying, a man who I told you now just today, he attended a program organized by custom. That is paramilitary. And then if it is other leadership, past leader of the defense headquarters or other security agencies, they will pray within their domain. But he exceeded with the outside his own scope to be sure that he assisted the country should be safe. So we have confidence in them. He's a man who, and that is just such type of people that are honest. Like him, the General Musa, people that is a leader that is honest, a leader that has pure mind with everyone, a leader who is not too love with money but humanity and the nation. I'm telling you, those type of people, if you are going to maybe attack such people, I'm telling you, even the devil will fight you down because he has the confidence, he has the love of the nation in him.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's still dive into how operational these people are, the security agencies are, according to what was gathered with this Lukarawas group of people. They moved from Mali and Niger Republic. That was as of 2018. But the one would wonder, and where they came in from, you wonder what kind of security is we have in our borders, because for them to move in from the Niger border to the Nigerian border without any check and everything. Now, when you look at it, when you do the calculation, it would take about 1,487 kilometers, which is about 900 miles from Niger border to Nigerian border. So, what do we make out of this? That they traveled this long without any form of checkpoint, and they were able to maneuver into Nigeria without any form of confrontation or check. Or a checkpoint. Does it really make sense, or does it really tell well of the security agency?
When a criminal wants to steal your property, he should be, at that point, is wiser than you. He knows the methods to steal. But by the time that he comes,
but mind you, obviously they don't seem to be a checkpoint. That's why they could travel all the way from Niger Republic.
Our security are trying. You can't tell. But what we are telling to tell you is that they will wipe them out. The security agencies, I told you, security agencies, more especially, I'm still repeating myself, the defense of God, they don't operate like that. They operate intellectually. That is why, because they believe, because there's no way, for instance, now they are coming through the border, then coming to Nigeria. You mean they should fight them, or you don't know whether there's an innocent person among them?
No, I'm trying to understand this. I'm trying to understand the level of security in our borders.
We have different, we have different countries that we have border with them.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So and that's why this leadership of the city was trying to bring unity, peace and unity between the world, or among the Africa countries. And that is why I told you on 18 to 30 they are starting the Africa military games. That alone will bring unity within the countries, and then the country will assist each other in tackling insecurity. It's a knowledge. It's using intelligence to see how we'll read out all these insecurity problems. Coming down to this country, there's no way to wipe them out, because you don't know who and who that is the real terrorists among them. But by the time now they monitor them, they begin to see who are who, and that's when the security now will not make an arrest and then take an action again, because operation generally cannot, you may go and attack innocent man. Like I told you, in believing this leadership, like the General Musa, he has a vast knowledge of international humanitarian law, and that's why he does his operation with protecting the right of the citizen.
So how fast are they trying to swing into action when it comes to this particular group of terrorists? No,
the group they were in existence since 2018.
Yes, and
but that does not mean they just come in and then we have the security agents have a plan to handle them. You see here the plan, and you see here that they will be caught. Trust them. No security agency leader of the security agency in the whole Nigeria, the history of Nigeria, that have dealt with the terrorist group like under the leadership of General C.J. Musa. They killed the Halilu. All these kidnappers, leaders of the terrorists, they killed them. Just as a patient, you see here that the military people will take action against that group that you are talking about.
Of course, why we are going to establish, but mind you, this is a dicey situation. This is about talking about lives and properties of people. This is talking about freedom of the security of Nigerians.
Yes,
we are talking about economic growth, because like I said before the program, you can't talk about a good economy without good security.
There won't be good economy without security. Security, well, even the right you are talking about, like as I usually say it, or I do say it, the right you are taking fundamental human right from section 33 to section 4 to 5 that give us right to exercise, they give individual right to exercise their rights. Such right can never be exercised without the security. So it is the security now, because it is when your country is in peace and safe that your right can be exercised. So that is why it's obvious that this government, present government, people have to recommend on the achievement of the word security, and we have to contribute, cooperate. I mean to say the civilians have to cooperate, because it's everyone's problem. The responsibility of security is everyone's responsibility. It's not made for security agency alone. If you have information, report. They will come and take an action. You don't expect one person or security agency to be taking action, visiting different places. No, we within ourselves, civilian, we also have a right, responsible to secure this country. It's not only security agencies. Like what I'm telling you, we have confidence in them. And I'm assuring you that these people, other security leaders that pass, that they operate not intellectually, and that is why you see innocent people, they'll be killing innocent people. But this government, and under the in the leadership of the General C.J. Musa, that is defense headquarters, you will see they're using intellectual method to be said, like I told you.
All right, Barrister, apologies. Let me hold you there, and let's quickly hear from this caller. Good evening. If you can hear me, good evening. Good evening. Please, can you speak up? What's your name and where you're calling us from? Godwin, if I barely hear you, please, can you speak up?
Can you hear me clearly now?
Okay, yes, I can.
I'm Godwin, if I'm talking about the economic part of the country.
Okay. I'm sorry, you might have to call us back. Barrister, please go. You were saying something, and
that's what I said that you have, if in the appointment of leaders of the securities, then you have to appoint. There's no appointment like this government appointment that have appointed people who has Nigeria at heart, and then has Nigeria and Nigerians at heart. And that is the reason why you see, because you cannot work alone to succeed. You have to work with everyone, with the civilian, the paramilitary, and then the military themselves. And that is why the Nigerian military believe in collaborations, joint operations, like what I'm telling you, like under the defense headquarters. All the leaders of the defense headquarters are contributing, giving maximum cooperation to see how this country is safe, and to see how the leader himself, General C.J. Musa, succeed in protecting Nigeria, the lives of property.
Okay. The lives and property of. But one would think, I think, is it right to say that these security agencies tend to swing into action and wake up, or swing into action, let me say, whenever there is crisis? Because something happened of recent. I traveled from here to Kaduna. That was about 3 hours journey or more than, and I bet you I traveled all the way from here to Kaduna State and could not meet a single checkpoint.
You meet a checkpoint where there's a predicament. Before,
okay,
under the administration.
No, we are not. I'm not trying to dispute the fact that I'm not of course, a checkpoint.
No, you can only when a place is free. Why will it be a checkpoint?
Okay, because so are you saying
last administration you say about hundreds of checkpoints?
That's what I'm saying.
Problem.
Okay, Is there no tendency that those group of people, you know, looking at, if they look and see that okay, there is no checkpoint, and don't you think it might push them back?
No,
you feel like when the situation is calm, then the security agencies goes in.
Leadership, security leader, this leadership of security, leaders of the security, they are operating by way of legal means. Obstructions, you know, what you are talking about, the checkpoint you are talking about, it's an obstruction of the right of an individual.
Barrister,
it's by way of necessary. That is why they even put in the checkpoint. Please let me round up. What you are saying here.
I'm sorry. You conclude that. Let's quickly hear from this caller. Good evening. Glad to have you on the show. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Okay, my name is Joel.
Okay, Joel Shinon. So please go ahead with your contribution. You have just 60 seconds.
Yeah, I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay.
Please, first of all, I want to talk about the resource person in the station, in the studio. I'll be glad if the studio will bring in people that are not just praise singers. People that are really talking about the economy, about the country. It's not people that are here to sing praise. We are in this country knowing that Tinubu has not really done any of the things. Is that he has not been able to listen.
I can hear you. Please go ahead. I'm sorry, you might have to call us back. The network is not favorable. Please, Barrister, round up.
The caller is talking about the economy. There won't be economy. We will not have a well economy without security. Security has to be corrected.
Okay, and that's what I'm trying to say. You are trying to make a point. You say there wasn't need, or there is no need for checkpoint.
Checkpoint is where there's a predicament that you think that's
so when the predicament is calm, there shouldn't be.
Free to exercise their fundamental human right. Mind you, I told you that the security agencies are operating their operation with what? Mindful the right of individual. And that's why I tell you that most of the security leaders, the DSQ security leaders, are operating with the knowledge of what? International humanitarian law. That protects the civilian, the right of civilian, that is non-combatant, and then attack the combatant. So this issue, there's no way, because there's no predicament, there's no problem, you begin to put checkpoint and they're stopping people from their movement. No, since that place is free now and they have a peace in that place, allow them to move. So what I'm telling you is that we have to have confidence in them, supporting them. Any other any information call like this, let me tell you more things that they have done again. Like look at you're talking about the new group that came out now. You're talking about maybe they are Boko Haram. Boko Haram can never under the leadership of General Musa can never be alive, because he's one that rescued Chibok girls. When he was in Northeast, he heard about it. No one doesn't know about it. He rescued the Chibok girls and he brought peace to the Northeast. So the same method used at the Northeast when he was at the theater commander is the same method using for the general for Nigeria. So economic would also be
stable.
Yes, stable. Very soon because of the security structure, restructuring of the security.
Good evening.
In a predicament.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Well, it's glad to have you join us. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Okay, it's Joel. Be calm down this time.
Okay.
I was boiling last time I called.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that the resource person in the studio has not really listed the great changes that Tinubu has been able to do in terms of security.
Okay.
Yes, when you are telling me this, there is a way you list the actions of government, and to be clear that yes, changes in place in the government, because traffic insecurity is on the rise. Kidnap is on the rise. Even in security is on the rise. I don't know which country he is in. And he's telling us Tinubu has done a lot and we now have to support.
All right.
We are doing enough.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. And Barrister, I want you to react to this. The caller said that insecurity is on the rise, and I want you to react to that before we leave the studio.
What you are saying is that there's no way issue of insecurity will be right completely. But if he can tell the truth, he can tell the truth. This leader, this government have done a lot in tackling insecurity. You cannot compare this government with the other government. So let's speak about this. It's not an insecurity issue. It's not something that we just finish. No. It's a gradual process. And let him see. We should have confidence in them because our belief and word is very important.
Okay.
So when you have confidence in your leaders, then you comment if they have made an effort, then they will do well. It's not that you begin to criticize them, and you don't even know what they are passing through. These leaders, security leaders, let me tell you, if you are close to them or you monitor them very well, I'm telling you, you know that yes, what they are doing, if they are doing well in this, for this country, people don't even see their effort.
Yes, but I heard you talk about the strategies that that is being taken by military agencies to tackle this current group of terrorists in northeast. But I want to understand what effort are they making in terms of relating with the people, because according to a researcher who spoke on this Lukarawa's group of people, when they newly came to Sokoto State, it was gathered that they came, and some persons, some villagers, caught the attention of leaders, and when they were asked questions and the rest of it, they said, oh, they are normal human beings, and they were allowed. That was how they get to spread with people, get to mix with the normal people, and before they start carrying out their operation. So you can clearly see that it is very important to engaging with the people, the communities itself, when you want to really fish out this set of people. What is the military agencies doing in that regard? What
you said, that's what they are doing. Their operation is for all. The community people, that are civilians, and the paramilitary, and then military themselves, and others, local securities. They don't operate alone. What you are saying now is the type of the leadership style that the head of military or the defense headquarters that they are doing. They don't do alone. They call it joint operation. That is, everybody has responsibility. He has a role to play in securing this country. Let this country be secured. And that is why I'm telling you, they don't believe in operation that is just like that. They use talent, intellectual disposition in tackling what insecurity.
But then again,
they cannot just come and arrest everybody.
Again,
they arrest the innocent person.
Again, what happens to the means of passage and entrance of these terrorists? Like we talk about the border, because I don't want to believe that there was an adequate check at the borders, and these people are able to freely penetrate Nigeria and start causing this harm. So what happens to why you're saying that they're trying to take strategies and take steps that can work? What happens to the border exactly? Because you can't even, if they go out, if the border is not properly or inadequate check, they can still move in at any time.
I told you that where they have their ministry, they form something in their mind that they want to do something. This leadership of security, I told you, don't operate that way. If they, of course, they must have checked them before they come in. Of course, what if they are free? They come to our country and they are free. There's no way they have right to come into our country. We have right to go to other people's country. So we'll monitor. When you come to our country, we'll be monitoring you and to know what you are doing, what is the really purpose or the reason why you are in the country. We cannot stop you from coming. I don't expect them to come with a gun and they begin security agencies that are at the border to see them coming with guns and everything physically to allow them to come in. It's a lie. So there must be something, and since they are in now, then they'll be fetched out and they'll be dealt with. We trust our security leaders.
All right,
let me tell you one thing. I will be hearing issue of bunkering again. Bunkering, the illegal mining. That this civil defense that are trying with the collaboration of the defense headquarters that try a lot to see how they will red out this particular illegal mining and bunkering in this country completely.
Well, thank you so much.
They have been read out under the leadership of the sound chiefs we have in this country.
Well, our time is up, and right now we have to call it a day. Thank you so much for being with me in the studio, Barrister. It's been wonderful having you around. This is where we call it a wrap on today's show. Thank you for sticking around and keep watching Kaftan Television. I am Misty Emelite. Have yourself a great evening ahead.